You think you'd survive a zombie apocalypse. You've watched the movies, memorized the rules, picked your weapon. But every single plan you've made is based on fiction, and fiction leaves out the parts that actually kill you. Not the zombies, something way more basic. Let's start with the thing nobody wants to admit. Zombies wouldn't even be your biggest problem in the first week. Your body would. 3 days without water, and you're dead. Doesn't matter how many zombies you've avoided or how much canned food you've stockpiled. Municipal water systems fail within 72 hours of grid collapse. Pumping stations need electricity. Treatment plants need operators. The moment everyone abandons their posts, pressure drops, pipes drain, and your tap runs dry. That bottled water you grabbed from the store, you're sharing it with every other survivor in a 50-mile radius. And those shelves empty in hours, not days. Boiling water sounds simple until you realize it requires fuel you don't have and exposes you to dangers you didn't consider. Gathering firewood means leaving shelter. Scavenging propane means entering areas where other desperate people had the same idea. And that stream that looks crystal clear? It's contaminated with runoff from decaying bodies, industrial chemicals, and untreated sewage. One sip gives you dysentery that dehydrates you faster than thirst alone. But let's say you solve water. You're already better off than 90% of people. Now you face something that kills even faster. Winter. Heating a building without natural gas or electricity means burning wood constantly. Wet wood doesn't burn. Dry wood requires daily chopping and hauling. Indoor fires create carbon monoxide that kills silently if ventilation is poor, but proper ventilation releases all your heat. You're choosing between freezing and poisoning yourself. Frostbite, hypothermia, and pneumonia don't care how many zombies you've outsmarted. One cold night in wet clothes and you're done. The Walking Dead shows survivors in winter episodes looking barely uncomfortable. Nobody's shivering. Nobody's desperately searching for firewood. Nobody's suffering from exposure. Because showing the reality, people burning furniture to stay alive, rationing body heat, watching children turn blue from cold, that doesn't make for entertaining television. Here's what makes it worse. Cold isn't your only temperature problem. Summer heat accelerates everything trying to kill you. Food spoils in hours without refrigeration. Bacteria multiply exponentially. Flies swarm. Disease spreads. Your body needs twice the water just to function. And you're sweating out electrolytes you can't replace. Heat stroke hits fast, especially when you're hauling supplies or fighting. One afternoon of physical exertion in 90-degree weather without proper hydration and your organs start shutting down. And those zombies everyone obsesses over? Temperature affects them too, just not how you'd think. Extreme heat makes them decay faster. Soft tissue liquefies. Muscles separate from bone. Within weeks of summer exposure, they're barely mobile. But extreme cold preserves them. Freezing temperatures keep tissue intact, suspending decomposition. They're slower when frozen, but spring thaw brings them back. And now you've got a horde that survived winter, while you burn through all your resources staying alive. The apocalypse isn't won by the best fighter. It's won by whoever solves logistics while everyone else is still playing action hero. Logistics means food, and food means farming. You can't loot grocery stores forever. Within months, every shelf is empty, every warehouse is picked clean, and you're left with one option: grow it yourself or starve. Sounds simple until you remember that modern agriculture depends on supply chains that no longer exist. Seeds need to be heirloom varieties, not the sterile hybrids sold in stores that won't reproduce. Soil needs preparation, fertilization, and crop rotation knowledge most people don't have. One season of failed crops and your entire group dies slowly while watching plants wither. Even if you know how to farm, you're facing threats that industrial agriculture solved decades ago. Pests devour crops overnight without pesticides. Fungal infections spread through fields. Drought kills everything when irrigation systems don't work. You're farming like it's 1800, except people in 1800 grew up learning these skills from parents who learned from their parents. You're starting from zero with a YouTube video you half remember. Then there's defense. Gardens are visible, valuable, and impossible to hide. Every harvest attracts raiders who'd rather steal than plant. You need guards, which means splitting your workforce between growing food and protecting it. Walls need building. Watch schedules need maintaining. One breach and months of labor disappears in an afternoon. But even perfect farms and impenetrable walls don't solve your actual biggest problem. People, not zombies, not starvation, not disease. People. Human nature doesn't improve during apocalypses. It concentrates. Every personality flaw, every selfish impulse, every petty grudge that civilization kept in check suddenly has no consequences. Someone hoards supplies, someone shirks work, someone makes a play for power. In your group, already stressed, already traumatized, already operating on minimal sleep and maximum fear, fractures. Trust becomes impossible. That person who joined last week, are they grateful or waiting for an opportunity? That argument over watch schedules, is it really about fairness or is someone positioning for control? Paranoia spreads faster than any infection. Communities collapse from internal betrayal more often than external threats. You're not just surviving zombies, you're managing group psychology with zero training while everyone's armed and terrified. The darkest truth? Most survivor groups don't fail because they ran out of supplies. They fail because someone decided their survival mattered more than the group's. One person steals the medical kit and runs. One person opens the gate out of spite. One person poisons the food because they cracked under pressure. You can prepare for zombies. You can stockpile food. You can learn to farm. You can't prepare for the moment your best friend decides you're a threat to their survival. That's why the movies get it wrong. They show external dangers, shambling corpses, and dramatic escapes. The real apocalypse is watching humanity eat itself while the zombies wait outside, patient, because they know we'll do their job for them. So go ahead, plan your zombie apocalypse survival strategy. Pick your weapons, memorize your escape routes, choose your fortress. Just understand that when it actually happens, none of that saves you. The survivor isn't the one with the biggest gun or the most supplies. It's the person who can purify water in February, grow food in July, and convince 5 strangers not to kill each other over the last can of beans. The movies made you think zombies were the test. They're not. They're just the timer. The real test is whether you can solve every problem civilization solved for you while that timer counts down. Most people fail in the first week, not because the zombies got them, because they didn't realize the apocalypse was never about the dead. It was always about the living and what we become when nobody's watching.